Hello beautiful people, welcome to the channel. Reverend Debbie here, hope you're all doing well. Today I thought I would give my own sort of final thoughts on the recent far-right riots that we have had in the United Kingdom. It's been quite horrendous, it's been shocking, it has been terrifying for some and illegal. And luckily the police have managed to arrest a lot of people. I believe it's about 700 people. These people are being expedited through the courts very, very quickly and put into prison for their crimes. A lot of the crimes were looting, setting fire to bins, to hotels, to cars, smashing windows of houses and cars, knocking off wing mirrors, breaking down a wall to throw the bricks and other missiles at the police who were trying to calm the riots down. And of course, all the injuries that the police have sustained through these far-right riots. And they are far right. And they are riots. In my opinion, I think they should have gone further because most of this was incited through social media online. Now, I have done 2 previous videos on this and there are comments on there that you might want to have a look at, so I will link them in the description box below so you can go and have a look. And if you do have comments, I would love to hear them, but please try to be respectful and kind. I have had some interesting comments the last couple of days. Also, try and stay within YouTube's rules, terms and conditions, because YouTube does flag up comments that it feels may not be polite or, you know, conducive to conversation, perhaps rather more like threats. So if you enjoy the video, please click the like button, please subscribe to the channel and share the video if you can with friends, family, anyone who you feel may be interested in this. So I want you to remember that this is these are my thoughts on the riots, and I'm not pointing fingers in any specific direction. Obviously there are investigations still ongoing. Now, about 700 people were arrested for taking part in the riots, which was supposed to be a protest at first, but became riots. Looting, breaking of property, assaulting the police is a riot. It's not a protest. And then there is, of course, the accusation of 2-tier policing. I'm not going to get into that. That's for another day. But the actual riots themselves, the cause was because 3 little girls were unalived at a dance class in Southport in Merseyside. And that's actually very close to where my family lives. Now, I was supposed to be going through there this week and I was going to go and pay my respects at the places where I can go and lay flowers. Unfortunately, one of my cats has become unwell, so as a cat mom, I have to stay at home looking after my little fur babies. So when she's well, I shall be going over to visit my mum and my family. So these 3 little girls were unalived by a British-born person. His name was Axel, I've got it written down here, Raducabana, I think. But soon after this occurred, the internet was rife with speculation that this person was an Islamist and that it was done deliberately against white children. Now, it turns out that this person was not an Islamist, but was instead a British child. They were not a migrant, a British child born in Cardiff in Wales and from Rwandan parents who were asylum seekers. So we don't know what the reason is for this 17-year-old, or I think he's 18 now, I think it was close to his birthday, and that is being investigated by the police. We won't find that out until the trial. That is how investigations take place here in the United Kingdom. The investigation goes on, the police keep that information, and then when it goes to court, the defence and the prosecution, you know, put those reasons across. So, as I say, on that day of the actual unaliving of the three little girls, Elsie, Alice and Bibi, and may they rest in peace and may their families feel some sort of comfort from some sort of energy, God, goddess, whichever belief they follow. I cannot imagine how horrible it must be for that to happen to parents. I just really can't. It's unfathomable in my mind. It really is. So soon after this incident, rumours were spread on the internet very, very quickly. One of them was by Andrew Tate, who is accused of sex trafficking, is currently living in Romania. And a certain member of parliament then used that video as a reference to say that this was the cause, that he was just picking up on information that was on the internet. Now, I don't know about you guys, but please, not everything on the internet is true. We should know this by now. And I feel that this specific member of parliament should have restrained themselves from stirring up hatred. This is a person from a right-leaning party who has, over the last election, which took place on the 5th of July, who received 4 seats in our parliament. However, this party is right-wing, and a lot of their policies and ideals are far right-wing. For example, they want zero tolerance on immigration, so 1 in, 1 out. Now, England, Britain, the United Kingdom relies on migrants to do a lot of the work, especially in our National Health Service, our dentistry service and care services. A lot of migrants come over here, they are qualified in those jobs, and they do these jobs that English people don't want to do, British people don't want to do. And some of these people were not targeted, but were affected by these riots. And one gentleman, for example, had his car set on fire, and he was on a 12-hour shift at the time, being a carer. So he got home and his car was gone. You know, this is a person who looks after your aging family. So we need migration, but this party believes that migration is wrong and that integration between skin colours, ethnicity and religion is not possible. I'm sorry, I grew up in South Africa, and I know that it is possible. They speak 11 different languages in South Africa, 11 recognised languages. There are probably far more that are not recognised languages. And in South Africa, the people are living together and integrating in society. How do I know this? I still have friends over there. I still speak to them quite often. But this thuggery, because that's what it was not a protest. They were not protesting against the person who had committed this crime. They were rioting against migration, against Islam, and against people of a different skin colour. In fact, and I will link this in my description box below, there was a phone call into a radio station here in the UK from a man who did actually state that it was about migration and skin colour. So this is from the far right mouthpiece itself. So this hatred was stirred up online, not just by Andrew Tate and this Member of Parliament, but by other people who are also swinging towards the right, who also feel that immigration should not be happening. But it needs to happen. We are a country of migrants. We are Anglo-Saxons. People came over from Normandy. We have Celts. We have Vikings. You know, England is not, or the UK is not a country with just white people, or just Celtic people, or just Anglo-Saxons, or just Jutes, and so on and so on. We are a conglomeration of people that come to live together in tolerance and peace. And that's all we want, isn't it? We all want peace, happiness and kindness. And unfortunately, there's a certain section of society that perhaps feel that they are hard done to by the government, that they don't get what the immigrants get. Now, that's completely false. A lot of that is false rhetoric, and I will link some information below to various sites where you can find out that they don't get £48 a week. It's £48 a month or £50 a month, that they have to stay in hostels or hotels, that until they're processed. The previous Conservative government stopped processing asylum claims. So there's this huge backlog that is the current government, the Labour government, are trying to fast track through the system. Of those people, the ones that are found to be not suitable, that are perhaps criminals, that don't fit into the mould for asylum, they are sent back. They are deported from the country. But those who are here to make a contribution, who are fleeing war or persecution in their own countries, have a right to be here. The vast majority of them are from countries where the United Kingdom colonialised. So it was okay for us as white people to go into foreign countries and unalive the native and Aboriginal people. But it's not okay for those people to come over here. Where's the fairness in that? We should be accepting of all people. And so these lies were spread through the internet and they stirred up hatred. There was a sort of conglomerate of people that were trying to make these riots worse, that were trying to organise people to go to certain places and be in certain times and to create riots. Well, what was amazing was that a lot of people who live in those towns and those cities actually came out to stand against racism. So they were the anti-racist protesters. And they were pretty much peaceful. Yeah, there may well have been one or two people arrested, but they were not like the people who were rioting against something that didn't even exist, that hadn't even happened. They were targeting mosques and homes and businesses of foreigners to the United Kingdom. But remember, it's okay for us to go into other countries and be foreigners there. And all these people were belonging to whomever they belong to, specific groups such as the EDL, which apparently doesn't exist anymore, but the person who started it does. And he's currently abroad and may well be arrested for various things. I don't know. I'm just going on the headlines that I've seen. So again, something that you may have to investigate yourself. And again, I'll put links into the description box below so you can have a look. But these riots should not have happened. What should have been remembered was these 3 little girls who were unalived in a horrendous way, and various other children and teachers who had tried to defend these children spent some time in hospital. Some of them may still be there, I don't know. It shouldn't have happened. I absolutely 100% agree that it shouldn't have happened, that it was wrong. But going and taking it out on the community where it happened and then on other communities that had nothing to do with this is evil. Now, I know a lot of these people who did the rioting, white sort of men and boys, are probably very disenfranchised with the way society is at the moment and after the past 14 years of Tory governance or lack thereof. And they haven't received the opportunities in life that they would hope for: schooling, jobs, job creation, homes, houses. And the rhetoric has been that immigrants take those things away, but they don't. They add to society. They do jobs that British people don't want to do. So we do need immigration. Our society is an aging society. We have more people in their 80s now than we did 20 years ago due to medication, medicine and the care that they receive. But these people need care, and most of the carers are from abroad. My dentist is Romanian. I absolutely love him. He's brilliant. In fact, the last time I was there, his assistant asked him, "Are there vampires?" And he turned around and said, "Well, I've been alive. I haven't seen one in my life since the last 200 years. So I was like, oh, okay, we have a vampire. Doesn't bother me though. Vampires are cool. But these riots were senseless and ridiculous and a complete waste of police time, hospital time, and court time. And a lot of these people who took part in these riots were purely innocent, probably had gone along there just for the giggles and had drunk too much alcohol or snorted too much white powder and then became aggressive. And I know that we've seen a lot of these people are breaking into tears in court because they know they're going to lose their jobs, they're going to lose their homes, they're going to lose their lives by having to spend 2 or 3 years behind bars. In my opinion, should be longer, but I'm not a judge and I'm not aware of all of the laws. But I'm hopeful that this has now ended, and I am hopeful that people can start to heal from this, that can start to heal each other, and that we can start to be more tolerant in society. All people want is a home, food, clothing, water, and heat. Maslow's hierarchy. That is what people's basic needs are. Anything above that is extra and additional. So be kind. Be aware that people are different. People have different thoughts and different opinions. Be aware that religion has been a massive cause of war and fighting and arguments in the world. So has skin colour. But we are all people and we are all the same. And even though we may practice different beliefs and religions, we all go to the same place when we pass over. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel. If there are any topics or subjects you'd like me to discuss, you can email me at debbiewolfmoon@yahoo.co.uk. I hope to see you next time. Blessed be.